Hi everybody. Hey, we sent you some tools in your welcome packet, uh, and you also should have gotten a binder that has instructions in it as far as how to care for your tools and how to use your tools. But wanted to also have this video to show you some of the particulars and just talk about some different things specific to your tool. Um, the the most important thing is always be safe. If you don't know something about your tool, and we haven't covered it here, send us an email or and ask the question. There's always Google, but I mean, by all means, ask us the question. We're happy to answer it for you. Um, one of the tools you got is a hammer, a lot like this one. Um, the uh, the hammer you've gotten has a wooden handle and has in the top of it, you might see here, these two little wedges, and that's what holds that handle into the head of the hammer. So if this ever gets loose, sometimes you can just tap on these wedges, and that'll tighten it up enough to be able to make it tight again, and you can continue to use your hammer. Um, One of the things I mentioned was as far as pulling nails. If you have a nail driven the whole way in, don't try to pull it with this hammer. Um, that's what pry bars are for. If you start yanking on nails with this hammer, you're liable to break the handle here near the head. I mean, because there's a lot of force with jerking around. Now, most of the nails that we're going to be using earlier on the early projects are small, so they shouldn't present a problem pulling it with this hammer. But and this is a 16-ounce hammer. I know they make a 10-ounce hammer, but one of the things that make a hammer work is the weight of the head. This is what's known as a finish hammer for carpenters. They use this a lot for whenever they put trim in a house, um, driving finish nails and small nails. This is the kind of hammer that you would use for that. It has a more substantial handle than the 10-ounce hammers, and if you should hold on to the hammer as close to the end of the handle as you can whenever you're going to swing it. But if it's a little heavy for you and you need to choke up on that hammer a little bit, don't be afraid to choke up on it to start with, because you're going to be building muscles. Swinging a hammer is definitely something that takes time to get used to, and you know your arm's going to probably get sore, going to get tired just from swinging the hammer. Now, one of the things you have to, you know, like I said, you hold it as far down as on the handle as you can comfortably to be able to swing it. Most of the swinging power of the hammer happens in your wrist. So when you first start driving a nail, you give it light taps. You hold your nail, you give it light taps with the hammer, hit the nail flush with the head of the hammer, as close to the center as you can. Just tap the head in a little bit until it can stand up on its own, and then you can let go of it and tap harder. And you're going to do most of that with your wrist. Most of the power of swinging a hammer happens in your wrist. It doesn't come from your arm. If you're using your more arm, then you don't have a heavy enough hammer. You need to get a heavier hammer, and that the hammer is what the weight of the hammer is what drives the nail. That's one of the reasons why sledgehammers are in pounds as opposed to in ounces. Most claw hammers, framing hammers, and so forth are measured in ounces. This is a 16-ounce hammer. I've used framing hammers, 22, 24, 26-ounce hammers. Starting out, that's a lot. You'll know you're swinging it after a day's worth of swinging it. But this hammer is a finish hammer. It's a lighter hammer, 16 ounces, and you get most of the force that you're going to drive the nail with in your wrist. So, if all you ever do is this far, you're doing fine. You don't need to swing much harder than that to drive a nail in. If you do, like I said, you need a bigger hammer than this. One big thing to always remember, anytime you're doing any work, whether it's with a hammer, with a saw, anything like that, always put on some safety glasses so that you don't get anything in your eye. Sometimes whenever you swing a hammer and you hit a nail, it won't hit square, and if you hit off to the side, that nail can jump out of there and hit you in the face. So we want to be very careful. We always want to wear our eye protection Make sure that we don't get anything in our eyes. That way, with it, if the nail does skip off, it hits the glasses and not our eye. Make sure whenever you're swinging the hammer, take a quick glance behind you, because you don't want to swing back here and hit somebody. And you know, just take your time. When you get tired, you swing the hammer for a bit, drive a few nails. You get tired, take a break. You know, you have all the time in the world to learn how to use it, and you know, to build your projects. There's nobody that's going to be yelling at you to hurry up and finish it up. So just take your time. When you get tired, take a break, and you know, get comfortable swinging the hammer. Get comfortable using the hammer. You know, one way you can practice is to take a block of wood and take your hammer and you put the head down on the block of wood and take a pencil or something and draw a circle around there, and then just practice tapping that piece of wood right inside that circle. If you'll be able to hit that spot every time to the point where you can do it without looking. That's when you know you're starting to get really accurate with the hammer, and you can start swinging a little bit harder. But you know, to start with, just take your time, use your wrist, just tap it in there. And this hammer, being a 16-ounce hammer as opposed to a 10-ounce hammer, it's better. I know people are, you know, a lot of the kits and stuff you get, it's a lighter hammer, and I don't believe, and I'm not alone in not believing that that's the way to go. You're better off letting the hammer do the work and not having to swing it as hard, and get used to actually just being more accurate with the hammer as opposed to swinging it harder. So that's pretty much it as far as using the hammer. Now let's talk about how to take care of it. The handle is wood. The head is steel. Now, one thing about wood is wood reacts to moisture differently than steel does. It also wood doesn't react as much to temperature. Steel reacts a lot to temperature. Whenever a wood handle gets damp, it swells, and that, you know, and when it gets dry, it shrinks. So one thing you'll notice that if your handle keeps getting loose inside the head of the hammer, one thing it could be is that your tools are getting too dry. So get some oil, and I mean, don't be afraid to put oil on the handles of your hammer. You know, you can don't use like vegetable oil or something like that. There's a couple of different types of oil that you can use safely, or you can use that like Murphy's oil soap, and just use that on the handle, and that'll put some moisture back into the handle of the hammer, and keep it from drying out too much, because that'll cause it to split and you know, and start to get loose inside the head. The head reacts to heat and cold. It shrinks when it's cold, like it is right now, and it expands whenever it gets warm. So sometimes you'll notice that in the summertime, or late in the spring or early summer, the head just starts to get a little bit loose. But that's because in the wintertime, the head has contracted from the cold, and it squeezed that wood on that head, on the hammer handle. And so what you might need to do is just give a couple taps on those wedges, and you can actually buy these wedges at a hardware store, so that if it keeps getting loose and you start to notice that it won't tighten up, and you've driven these in as far as they'll go, then, you know, and don't drive them way down in there. Drive them down. These are sticking up just a little bit, so that you can drive them down flush, or even a little bit recessed. But if you you can take, there's room in here to stick another wedge, that you can put another wedge in there and tighten it up a little bit more. And if all else fails, if you have trouble with the handle of this hammer, you can always get another one. You can go to a hardware store, pick up another handle for your hammer, and you take this one out. You save these wedges, and you slide you should get wedges with your new handle, but in case you don't, or it's always handy to have a couple around, put your new handle, slide your new handle inside the head of the hammer, and just tap your wedges in here, just the way these are, and that'll tighten that head down onto the handle of the hammer, because you don't want any movement out of that head, because it could fly off. And if it flies off when you swing it back, and there's somebody standing way back there, or the TV's back there, or anything else, guess what happens to whatever that head flies into? It gets broken. And this thing can rust. This head, even though it's a hammer, you still don't want it to get rusty. We want to keep it as free from rust as possible. A lot of my hammers have some rust on them from using them a lot, being out in the rain and weather, but you don't let them get real rusty. One way to stop that is keep a rag and some WD-40. Spray a rag with some WD-40 just lightly. You don't have to soak it down, but spray it lightly, or even spray some directly on the head of the hammer just a little bit, and just rub it on to the head of your hammer with a rag, and that'll protect this from rusting whenever you have it stored in your toolbox. You know, and just keep that rag around, because you're going to be wiping your tools down every time you use them. When this thing gets dirty, take a dry rag, try to wipe that dirt off of here. If you need to, you can use a little bit of water, but don't soak this in water. Don't drop it down into a bucket or anything like that. Take a damp rag, wipe it off, get the dirt off of it, dry it real well, and then go ahead and wipe it down with your WD-40. You can even put WD-40 on the handle. It doesn't hurt anything. You know, and that'll keep this from rusting, and it'll keep some moisture inside the handle of your hammer. So, like I said, work on being accurate. One thing you don't want to do is start hitting right in here. You'll see a lot of hammers with a bunch of scarring, chipping, and stuff right in here. If it starts to get too bad, it's time to replace that handle. But this handle will last you a good long time if you take your time and you learn how to be accurate with the hammer instead of just going crazy and beating on things. So just take your time, get used to doing it. Remember, use your wrist. Use your wrist, choke up if you feel like you need to. I'll see you in the next video.